Ringo Starr, born Richard Starkey on July 7, 1940, in the working-class district of Dingle, Liverpool, faced a challenging early life. His family struggled financially, and he was often beset by serious health issues, including peritonitis and tuberculosis, which kept him in and out of hospitals during his childhood. These early adversities, however, shaped his resilient spirit. During long hospital stays, he discovered his love for rhythm, drumming on tables and bedpans, unknowingly setting the stage for his future as one of the most iconic drummers in the world. His childhood struggles instilled in him a deep appreciation for life and its simple joys, traits that would define both his personal and professional journey. Ringo's humble beginnings made his rise to international stardom with the Beatles even more extraordinary. The early years and his path to music. Before achieving fame, Ringo worked a variety of jobs, including as an apprentice joiner and a machine operator in a Liverpool factory. Despite these practical jobs, his passion for music could not be suppressed. Inspired by the skiffle and early rock and roll movements, he started playing drums with local bands and eventually joined Rory Storm and the Hurricanes, one of Liverpool's leading groups at the time. Ringo's drumming style and upbeat personality made him a standout member of the band. In 1962, his big break came when the Beatles' original drummer, Pete Best, was replaced. Ringo joined John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison, completing the iconic lineup that would change the face of music forever. Becoming the drummer of the Beatles, Ringo Starr quickly became known as the drummer for the Beatles, bringing a unique sense of timing and musicality to the band's sound. Though often in the background, his steady beats and inventive fills were essential to the success of songs like Ticket to Ride, Rain, and A Day in the Life. His drumming was simple yet effective, enhancing the overall sound without drawing attention away from the music. Beyond his drumming, Ringo's warm personality and humour made him a fan favourite. He also contributed as a vocalist, with memorable songs like With a Little Help from My Friends, Yellow Submarine, and Octopus's Garden, which showcased his friendly and approachable character. His contribution to the Beatles' success was indispensable, and his impact on their music remains profound. Life after the Beatles, a solo career. When the Beatles disbanded in 1970, Ringo Starr didn't fade into obscurity. Instead, he embarked on a solo career that proved he was much more than just a drummer. His first two solo albums, Sentimental Journey and Buckers of Blues, both released in 1970, displayed his musical versatility and passion for a wide range of genres, including pop, country, and jazz standards. However, it was his 1973 album Ringo that truly solidified his success as a solo artist. With hits like Photograph and You're 16, the album received critical and commercial acclaim. Ringo's relatable, down-to-earth style continued to resonate with fans around the world, and his collaborations with former Beatles members further demonstrated the enduring bond between them, even after the band's breakup. Ringo Starr, the actor and TV personality, Ringo Starr didn't limit himself to music. He ventured into acting and film, appearing in several movies, including Caveman, 1981, That'll Be the Day, 1973, and The Magic Christian, 1969, alongside the likes of Peter Sellers. His comedic timing and engaging personality made him an appealing presence both on screen and off. Additionally, he became a beloved figure for a new generation through his narration work on the children's television series Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. His warm, engaging storytelling endeared him to children and adults alike, allowing his legacy to extend far beyond music. Ringo's ability to transition from music to film and television demonstrated his adaptability and broadened his impact on popular culture. Ringo Starr and his all-star band. In the decades following his solo success, Ringo Starr continued to tour and record music, performing with his all-star band, a rotating lineup of celebrated musicians from various generations. His concerts were known for their joyful, celebratory atmosphere, blending Beatles classics with his solo hits and the music of his former bandmates. This ongoing touring not only kept his music alive, but also cemented his place as a timeless entertainer. Throughout his career, Ringo's influence as a drummer and musician grew, with countless artists citing him as an inspiration for his precision and musicality. In 2018, he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II, an honour that recognised his extraordinary contributions to music and culture, and further solidified his legacy as a major figure in the world of entertainment. Ringo Starr's love life, marriages and personal growth. Ringo Starr's romantic life reflects both the turbulence of his years as a world-famous Beatle and the enduring love he found later in life. His first marriage was to Maureen Cox, a Liverpool-born hairdresser who was a devoted fan of the Beatles before they met. Their relationship began in the early 1960s, when Beatlemania was in full swing, and they married on February 11, 1965, during the height of the band's fame. The media frenzy surrounding their wedding was overwhelming, but inside the ceremony, it was an intimate and emotional event attended by close friends, including fellow Beatles John Lennon and George Harrison. Maureen was a stabilising force in Ringo's life, managing their home life in England while he toured the world. The couple had 3 children together, but after the Beatles broke up, their marriage began to show signs of strain. Struggles and separation. The pressures of fame, long separations, and the chaotic rock and roll lifestyle took a toll on Ringo and Maureen's marriage. Ringo has openly admitted that he struggled with alcohol and personal issues following the Beatles' breakup, which contributed to their growing distance. Despite Maureen's efforts to keep their family together, their relationship eventually ended in 1975. Although they parted ways, they remained connected through their children and mutual respect. Tragically, Maureen passed away in 1994 from leukemia at the age of 48, a loss that deeply affected Ringo. He often spoke of her as one of the most genuine and caring people he had ever known, and her passing marked a significant chapter in his life. The complicated relationship with George Harrison. Although Ringo Starr and George Harrison shared a deep bond throughout their time in the Beatles, their relationship became strained over the years, with Ringo later admitting that he harboured more anger toward George than anyone else in his life. Ringo often acted as the peacekeeper within the band, but the internal tensions and personal issues that arose during their time together caused friction. George, who had been with John Lennon and Paul McCartney from the start, sometimes treated Ringo as an outsider. Ringo often felt invisible, struggling to find his place in a band where his contributions were often minimised. Tensions came to a head in the later years of the Beatles, when personal egos and creative ambitions began to tear the group apart. The affair that shattered trust. The ultimate betrayal in their friendship occurred when George Harrison was involved in a brief romantic affair with Ringo's then-wife Maureen. The revelation hit Ringo hard, causing deep feelings of betrayal that lasted for years. Ringo admitted that he hated George for what had happened, and the anger he felt stayed with him for a long time. Despite the pain, Ringo's forgiving nature eventually led him to reconcile with George, but the wounds were deep. For months after the affair came to light, Ringo avoided George, and even when they did speak, their conversations were strained. This period in their relationship demonstrated the complexities of friendships within the Beatles, where love, trust, and betrayal often coexisted. Reconciliation and final years together. As time passed, Ringo's deep spirituality and nature of forgiveness began to emerge. In the late 1990s, when George Harrison became ill with cancer, Ringo set aside the past and visited him at his bedside. Their final conversation was one of love and reconciliation. Ringo later spoke emotionally about George's death in 2001, acknowledging that despite the years of tension, their bond as friends and bandmates was unbreakable. He shared that love had ultimately triumphed over resentment, and the music they created together would forever be their shared legacy. Ringo's reflections on his relationship with George highlight the profound, yet sometimes painful connections that defined the Beatles' friendship, and the healing power of love and forgiveness.